Hi there, and welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to talk about the September market report for San Luis Obispo County here on the Central Coast. We go through 2022 comparing August and 2023 comparing August of this year. So we're going to get to it and check out those numbers. Welcome back to the channel and thank you for being here. As you know, my name is Vernice. I'm a real estate broker and I'm going to break down the report for you and show you what's going on. There's still a lot of negative press about prices going down. Some cases, yes, but we got to look at the market locally. So the numbers are going to really reveal what is happening here on the Central Coast in San Luis Obispo County. So I'm going to bring up this family residence. I'm going to include everything. So it'll be the whole county and we'll take a look at that breakdown. That way you can avoid buyer's fatigue. I'm seeing a lot of you coming into town. I've been showing a lot of property this past month and there's a little bit of frustration. And you have to understand that what we're looking at today isn't necessarily going to be the same in 2 or 3 months. So if you're not sure where you're going to land on the Central Coast, then you do what's called the discovery phase. You come into town, we lay out some things that are on the market currently and that have sold, so you get to know the neighborhoods. But primarily this report is for you to realize what our local current market is doing. That's very important to help you navigate and understand what's going on currently. So it'll be interesting as it kind of slows down this next quarter here. There's still a lot of time left. So again, if you're thinking it's going to crash, I'm going to show you some numbers that might surprise you. All right, so we're going to highlight residential, single family for San Luis Obispo County. Here is August 2023. And so let's look at where we were last year in 2022. It's a lot of comparing here is what we kind of want to do. Here we go. So it's a little touchy. So here we go. So San Luis Obispo County currently is at 226 and last year was at 245. So those numbers aren't too far off. And here's active. So there was new listings just for the month. And then here's what's active in the county, 477. And let's check out what was going on last year in August, 537. So yeah, that has gone down. So we see that negative 11.2%. Currently, we have pendings in August of 2023, 137. And last year, September, let's go to August, 236. So there was a lot more pendings last year than this year, and that is by 41% there, negative 41.9. How many closed sales? August 2023, 190. August 2022, 247. So yeah, that's gone down. Now let's look at days on market. I feel this will help you out because when you're coming into town or you're calling me a month out to let me know you're coming into town and you want to look at things, this is going to tell you what the likelihood of what you're seeing on the market is going to be available when you come into town. So I'm having a lot of conversations with you and I love that you're all reaching out. Again, I'm trying to avoid buyer's fatigue for you because I'm seeing a lot of that. Or shoot, if I could have come into town, I would have liked that property, but it's now gone under contract and not available. So the median days on market is 13 and the average is 33. So you can see the difference there. So let's just check out how it was last year at this time. So this was August. That was 12 days for the median in August of 22, and now it's 13. So that hasn't really changed. So let's see the average. That's where you take all of the properties and just divide it by the number of solds. And that last year was 27 and this year's 33. Now that's the county, okay? So again, depending on if you're specifically looking North County, San Luis Obispo proper, Pismo Beach, Grover Beach, our South County, or Morro Bay Los Osos, that inventory is a lot tighter, not as much available. So every every little town within our county is also very different. And I'm going to show you some of those examples in a bit here. So do not leave, especially if you're focusing in North County compared to San Luis, or comparing South County to San Luis or scenic areas. So I'm going to bring those numbers up for you too. I think it's really important for you to look at those areas individually. All right, so let's move on. So this is the county again, month supply. For it to be what we would call a balanced market would be 6 months of inventory. Right now the county has 2.9 currently in August of 2023, and last year it was at 2.3. So I mean, it's actually gone up a little bit more this year since last year. Price per square foot, that's a common question that I get. So this year, the median is at 503 and the average is 556. So that's gone up. Let's see where we were last year. Two, three. All right, so here's what we always want to hear. What is the median average price? So again, the medians are the one right in the middle, and that's 850. So compared to last year, that was 870. So again, if you're thinking there's that market crash, we're holding pretty good here. And then here's the average. Okay, now let's move on. What is the average? So this is a better pulse on the market for the average. So it's 1,027,269. It's actually gone up a little bit. Where were we last year? Just so that you can compare. So last year we were at 989,752, guys. So it has gone up. So again, this is where I'm just trying to help you out. Now, I will again focus on particular areas. So stay tuned. If you know where you want to land on the Central Coast, I'll break up like Paso, Atascadero, Grover Beach, Pismo Beach, Avila, those areas. We can look at Nipomo, we can look at the scenic. So I'll do a few of those just so that you can see what's actually going on. Now here's another interesting number that you can see is how many shows to contract. So how many showings does it take before you go into contract? So this is important. If you're a seller, or if I'm telling you, oh my gosh, we have to make an appointment. Well, there's appointments before us, there's appointments after us. So you can gauge by the appointments, by the activity of what is going on. So if you're a seller and you haven't been getting any activity, these are numbers that you should look at wherever you're living, wherever you're at, on what's going on currently in your market. So again, here the median is 7 showings in San Luis Obispo County, and the average of showings is 10.2. So between 7 to 10 showings. If you don't All right, so again, the numbers are important for you to see so that you understand what is happening. So now let's go that have pretty much been the towns that are more active with listings and movement. So there's Atascadero and there's Paso Robles, and you can see they're pretty much at the same median price. We'll look at the average price, $744, $417 at Atascadero. So Atascadero is the first town you're going to get to as you're going up over the grade from San Luis proper, and then Paso Robles is going to be the farthest away from San Luis Obispo proper. And so the farther you move up north to the coast, up away from the coast, the prices get more reasonable, more affordable. Let's just look at where this was in August of 2022. So they have softened a bit. Look at that. So Atascadero was at 786 while we're currently at 744. Paso 763 and now it's 701 for the average sales price. So that's something to get excited about, right? But is it plummeting? And you have to remember that Paso has a lot more inventory. And so this is an average of really high price points and lower price points with a lot more there. So that's why that $62,000 reduction in average price is most likely some of those higher end homes have gone down. And we have a lot more of the lower end homes, which I'm talking about 6, 7, and 800,000. That's lower for us. And that's just something for you to think about. And this is what we can do together when we kind of pin down the areas that you're wanting. So look at last year's single family residents only were at 806, where Atascadero is at 769 now. In 2022, Paso was at 800 and change, and then now it's at 771. So I just took out condos and all that, townhomes and all that. So now I'm just dealing with residential SFR. Point is, you're going to have a lot more bang for your buck up in Paso and Atascadero. Let's take it a step further. Let's really niche down a little bit because I'm getting some of you going, well, what can I get up there between 5 and in the 500, 6, 7, right? So we're going to just click on this price point right here, which is, it says 529 to 676, 999. And what do we have? What I wanted to bring up is how many closed sales for the month of August. So here it is, folks. 7 sales in Atascadero between these price points and 10 in Paso Robles. So that's the reality of these price points in our area, specifically in Paso and Atascadero. I'll do the same for South County, and you're going to see the difference there in what has actually closed in this price point. So again, this is just something that I wanted to share with you because I just don't want you to get that buyer's fatigued, buyer's frustration. This is just where we're at, and I'm just trying to give you the information. It's the numbers for Paso and Atascadero. So let's look up some other areas here in South County. But first we'll look at San Luis Obispo. We'll make our way down. All right, we're in San Luis proper. So we just did North County, a couple of towns there. Now we're going single family residential homes in San Luis Obispo proper. Here we go. Median price is at $1,075,000. Where were we last year in August of 22? $1,060,000. Now let's look at the average. That is at $1,223,840. Where were we last year in 2022? $1,238,49. This is my point. Do you see that the market is plummeting? I mean, we're looking at the numbers. So I just want you to know that this is still where we're at. Now, what stays on market in San Luis? Median is 19, average is 30. So they're a little bit longer there. Let's look at what was happening in 2022 of August. That was 22 days versus 30 on the average. The median is right in the middle. And that was 9 last year and now 19. So, you know, you've got a couple weeks or a month on some of these average wise. So that's definitely changed. So, you know, we just take note of that and know as you're researching kind of what your timeframes are looking at for you to make a decision. So those are important numbers for you. And what is our month supply in San Luis Obispo 2 months. So we're still very strong in a seller's market. Now let's look for those price points that everybody's asking about. Let's look at what is selling between 500 and 718 single family residents. How many actually closed in the month of August? That is 0, and last year in August there was 3. So that's what you can find in this particular price point, 519 to 718. So if you're thinking you're going to get a house in San Luis in that price point, it's going to be really tight. Okay, so then let's jump up to 719 to 939. How many closed in August in the city? 4 sales. Okay, and in August of last year that was 9 sales, so there was more available last year. Okay, that makes sense. So again, I'm just trying to show you what's actually available in these price points. So last month 10 sold, 939 or more. In 2022 there was 24 sales in that bracket. So again, just more information for you to get to know the areas, to get to know how much things are costing in those particular areas. Let's look at price per square foot at this bracket. So 598, we had 555, 554 for the average in the county. Let's take a look at some of our beach towns. All right, so here are the beach towns. We're comparing Pismo Beach, then Avila Beach, where it's south facing, best weather in town. Grover Beach, the small little 2-mile perimeter of an area in South County. A lot more bang for your buck there. Pismo's where, you know, it's the pier, the tourists, all the action, and we're going to break these down. So here's the average of all 3 of these. So Pismo right now, August of 2023 is 984,500. Avila, of course, ranking because it's so limited in the inventory there. And you've got San Luis Bay Estates with very, very high prices in there, from a mobile home from $1 million on up to $3 million and more. So that average there makes total sense at $1,260,000. Then Grover Beach coming in at $855,000, $870,000. And again, I did residential, single family residence. Now let's look at what happened in August of last year. So comparing, Pismo has gone down. So 25%. It was at 1,329 last year and some change, and now we're at 984,500. Avila 1,000,005, right on that solid number, and that's gone down to 1,260. And now Grover Beach used to be at 715. Now that has gone up because that little town, which I grew up in South County. That is a little town, little beach town. That's a little hidden gem, and it is only getting better and better and improving. So yay for Grover Beach in that arena. So what else do you want to look at? So let's look at the month supply. So it looks like Pismo has 4.4 months. Avila has 7.5. So they've actually had more homes on available, and Grover Beach is real tight, only at 1.5 months supply. So that means if they stop selling, not putting any more homes on the market, they would all sell out in this amount of time. Now, let me tell you, some of Avila's prices are a little bit higher, so that's why they have more months of it. So here's the average days on market. We're just going to look at averages now. 12 days for Pismo Beach, Avila 38, Grover 15. So, you know, Avila's a very exclusive area. As of last year, we were at 32 days on the market in Pismo versus this year at 12, 90. So that has tightened up in Pismo. So those are flying off a lot faster. Avila was staying on a lot longer in August of 2022 and currently going in 38 days. Grover holding tight pretty much. August it was 20 days on market, and this year in August we're 15 days of average on days on market. So guys, let's see, this is the deal. I want you to know they're selling right here. If we look at Pismo within 97% of the list price, Avila 97, Grover that's actually going over. Another thing to know in our local market right now is that some agents are underpricing market with the pricing of the homes. So that's also another frustrating factor for you as a buyer, where they're pricing it under market to get lots of offers on the table, which will get it to what it should have been for the current average market price. So that's a strategy that's being used right now, which can be super frustrating. When this strategy is done, it really just gives you the illusion of this house being at this great smoking deal, and you want to write it at that price that they put it at, but it's actually going to sell for more. And that's where I have to help you. We have to help you understand that process too, because that also is a frustrating factor that's going on right now. Another thing is we're seeing a lot of cash. So if you even want to compete, please have yourself pre-approved with a lender that you're going to be using, because we're going to need to roll up our sleeves and everybody's going to have to come up to bat for you. So your pre-approval is going to be super critical right now. And some of these listing agents are getting back to, hey, we need to see that your client's pre-approved, no more just kind of looking. You can do that at open houses with no problem. But if you're making a set appointment, they really want you to be ready to go and qualified for that price. So we're kind of seeing a variation of things. It's case by case. Again, every house and every seller is different. So that is where we come into play to help you out and navigate during this process. All right, so let's go look at the specific areas, Morro Bay and Los Osos, two little towns, getting tons of calls for them. So I want to let you know what's going on there too. Keep watching, because we're almost done with all the little areas that you need to know about. And then we're going to finish off with Arroyo Grande and Nipomo. All right, so we all love Morro Bay and Los Osos. And here we go. So August 2023, Morro Bay's at 1,161,000 and change, 571. Los Osos 1,021,710. Both are up there. And here, this is where we were last year. Morro Bay was at 997 compared to 1,161,000 this year. Los Osos was at 866,167 in August of 2022 and is currently at 1,021,710. So friends, this is what I'm telling you. Like, you have to look at everything individually. And this is, I know, a little bit bananas, but this is where it's at. So when you are targeting your locations here, this is the reality of the current market. Okay, this is where it's at. So again, let's look at days on market. Average is 67 in Morro Bay and 15 in Los Osos. So some of these in Morro Bay have been on for a lot longer. So that's kind of good news for you. And a lot of it has been also, some have, we're seeing a lot of cancellations and homes going back on the market or going under contract because the buyer has something to do before they can perform on the actual purchase. And then they have to cancel and then has to go back on the market. So not that there's issues with the property always, but there's always the story to hear or know about what that buyer had to do in order to continue with the purchase. So month supply, what do we have in Morro Bay? 2.7, Los Osos 1.7. So not a whole lot there. What was happening last year? Morro Bay was at 2.6, so that's pretty much been the same. Los Osos 1.3, pretty much been the same. So there you go. Anything else we need to review? I don't think so. Let's see. What is the pricing selling at within 99.6 and 99.1 in both towns? So pretty much at good list price. If it's listed well, it's selling within that price point. Yeah, so everything's selling within that high 90% of list to actual close pricing or over, and that's pretty much straight across the board here in the area. So go take a look again at these particular price points. So you're like, what can I get for 700, maybe 800,000 in Los Osos or Morro Bay? How many actually close in this price point of 629 through 8, almost 800,000? Well, 2 closed in Morro Bay and 6 in Los Osos in August. And let's look at what happened in 2022. And that was 2 sold in Morro Bay within this price point and 12 in Los Osos. So it's actually gotten less in Los Osos. Let's go 795 or more. So 12 in Morro Bay and 14 in Los Osos. And last year in August was 12 in Morro Bay and Los Osos 10. So that just gives you an idea of what you're going to find in different price points. That's what I'm trying to help you with so that you can understand this a little bit better. So those are those numbers for Morro Bay and Los Osos. All right, so here we are in Arroyo Grande. This is in South County, a little town. Now remember, I have videos for each of these areas specifically. So if you haven't heard of any of these, go check out those videos. And don't forget to subscribe and like this video. It helps other people just like you. And here we go. So in August of 2023, the average price is 1195 for Arroyo Grande, and last year it was at 1,046,997. So we do have an increase there. People are hearing more about Arroyo Grande. And so that's pretty exciting for our little town. That's where I grew up as well. So we have 2.3 months supply. And let's look at the days on market. 26 days are the average days. Again, median is 8. So average is 26. So that's 25 homes sold in Arroyo Grande. So that's a good amount for a little town. And we've got, let's see what you can find between 7 and 960, if you will. 8 homes sold between 5 and 7, 3 homes in this bracket in Arroyo Grande. Again, just letting you know what is actually available in these price points. I think that's really important for you to know. So let's go check out Nipomo. So Nipomo is really a great town that I've been showing a lot at Trilogy, which is a community, one of our biggest planned communities here. It has amenities, it has an HOA. It is a community that retirees love to go. The amenities are they do your front landscaping in your front yard. There's a pool, there is a one beautiful restaurant, there's an event center, there's an art studio, golfing of course, which is separate, but you get a discount. So it is a really, really cool place to check out as well if you're a golfer or just want that type of lifestyle. That is a lifestyle. So that's out in Nipomo. There's more affordable housing in Nipomo. The reason it's more affordable is it's in county and there's just more bang for your buck there. You know, things are popping up though. They have more grocery stores coming up. They're working on the infrastructure. It's up and coming. It's got the best weather because you don't have the coastal influence. So let's look at those numbers. That is also a town that I would take a look at for young families, retirees, commuting to Santa Maria for work or Santa Barbara County. That is a good alternative for you so that acreage property, you can live in a tract home facility. There's condos there too if you just want to get your foot in the door. So that is another little town that's a hidden gem. There's Black Lake Golf Course. There's Trilogy, which is Monarch Golf Course. There is up and coming 400 homes that are going to be built there and breaking ground soon. So that is another you can reach out to me about if you kind of want to have your pulse on that whole development. 1,164,500, that's gone up. And last year in August, it was 946,726. Now I know for a fact a lot of these higher numbers come in because of Trilogy. That is, everything out there is either 900, 1.2, and moving on up to 2 million, 1.6, 1.5. I've been showing a lot of property there. It's very well sought out and there's not a lot available. So they have 1.6 months of supply. So again, very strong seller's market. So average days on market, 35. The median days are 17. So you're somewhere between 2 weeks to a month for those numbers. And let's see what closed sales we had. 18 in the month of August compared to last year, 23. So still moving nicely. So again, are we plummeting? I don't think so. There's still people wanting to move here. Let's just look here how many active listings have come on the market in August. 25, pending sales 10, and again, we already looked at the closed 18. Let's look at what price points you can find here. So again, if we go to the 665 to 864. You've got 4 homes, 865 and up, 13, 515 to 664, 1 home closed. So these are closed sales that I just went through, okay, in these particular price points. So again, trying to help you out and figuring out where price points you can get in what areas on the Central Coast here in San Luis Obispo County. All right, friends, the only way that we can help you find that sweet spot here on the Central Coast is you've got to reach out. You got to give us a call, text, email, day, evening, weekends. It does not matter, because we have your back when you're moving to the Central Coast, California. So until the next video, we'll catch you later.